G'day guys, welcome to this episode of Aussie English. Today you're going to get to hear me chat to my two friends, Carlos and Julen. I interview them over a glass of wine on Lygon Street in Melbourne. So we sat down at one of the Italian restaurants on Lygon Street last night and had a chat. I just wanted to sort of get them to talk about their experiences getting visas and coming to Australia, enrolling and studying in Australia, finding a job in Australia, making friends here, traveling here, and also learning Australian English. So I know you guys are going to get a lot of good information out of this episode, whether you already are here in Australia or you're thinking about traveling here. Sit back and have a listen and enjoy the episode, guys. Let's go.
So I'm here on Lygon Street having wine with my friends from Portillo Rosso, the Spanish restaurant that I work at. So I'm here with Carlos.
Hi, how are you?
And Julen.
Hello.
And they're here, they're feeling a little nervous, so we'll make them feel comfortable. That's why we've got alcohol. But they're here to sort of talk, I guess, a little bit about their experiences coming to Australia. What it's been like working. Julen's just got a visa, right? You've just got sponsorship?
Not yet, but
Almost.
I'm looking for that.
Yeah. But tell us about your background then. Where are you guys from?
Okay, cool. You want to start?
Yeah. So, I'm Julen again. I'm from a small town in Spain, which is in the north, and it's called Pamplona. What was I going to say? I'm 26 years old now. And I came to Australia to improve my English, try to look for a job, save some money and travel around because I was looking forward to visit Australia, so that was my goal in here. What about you, Carlos?
Okay, so I'm Carlos, I'm from Barcelona. I came here almost 1 year ago, and I more or less the same as you. Like I came here to improve my English and to have a new experience because in Spain I didn't like my last job. So I wanted to do something new, and I decided that. Nothing else. I mean, I studied business administration back in my country, and here I started studying English, and now I'm studying leadership and management. So more or less.
And what were you doing back in Spain, Julen?
So I'm actually an engineer, electrical and electronic engineer, but I didn't work as an engineer in Spain because we have this economical situation now, which the unemployment is really high now. So I found a job as an engineer here in Australia. So it's my first engineer job. So that's good.
So was that part of the reason you decided to come to Australia when you did? That you decided, the recession shitty? Or were you just thinking, it's just time to travel to Australia anyway?
Well, there were many reasons, but one of them, it was because it's impossible to find a job as related with your studies in Spain now. Like unemployment for young people is more than 50%. Now.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons to come here, beside experience, was to look for a job if I could. So I'm really happy now that I found it.
What about you, Carlos? What was the main reason for coming to Australia?
In my case, it was a bit different because I can't complain about what I did back in Spain. So I had many different jobs and I was working a lot. But yes, at some point, what I said, I didn't like this job position, and I thought I wanted to do something different. And I thought what can I do? Go to London to improve my English, but London is full of Spanish people, full of Italian people, and actually it's not really good paid as well. So I decided to go to Australia, and I'm really happy for that decision.
So what made you guys choose Australia too over places like Canada or America? Isn't that a little bit closer to Spain than, say, Australia? But is it a little harder to get a visa and a long-term visa?
For me, I was traveling in Southeast Asia 2 years ago, and I met many people that they were working in Australia for a year with the work and holiday visa, and they were saving some money and they were traveling in Southeast Asia. So I met them and they were really happy with that decision. So then I went back to Spain. I got my work and holiday visa. It was the second year visa in Spain. We didn't have it before. So I decided to try to get a visa. I got it in September last year and I came here. I picked Australia because it was like a dream when I was a kid. Like it's really far from Spain, and I've been in London as well, trying to learn English, and it's I really like it, but I wanted to try something different
and get a bit of climate.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to say.
So yeah, that was my reason.
Yeah, in my case, like I was thinking about going to London, but what I said, I thought like it was going to be really, really busy, or like many people from Spain, many people from other countries that they don't speak really good English. So yeah, I was thinking about going to Canada as well, or America, but yeah, USA is not possible for us. We don't have any visa. And I had two options, like going to Canada or going to Australia, and I decided Australia because of the weather, because I don't
Kangaroos,
know.
man.
The kangaroos, yeah, sure.
Koalas.
So what was that process like when you guys had to apply to get a visa over in Spain? For the listeners who are going to be, say, in their home country and thinking about getting a visa sorted, is it easy? Is it difficult? Are there do's and don'ts? What was the process for you guys, and how difficult or easy was it?
So for the work and holiday visa in Spain, it's kind of new now. This year there are 600 visas, so they start on the 1st of July. What you need is some savings, like at least $5,000 in your account. Then you need a minimum level of English, so it should be like I reckon it's like a 4.5 in the IELTS.
Yeah, it's
so
not really
it's
high.
Not really high. And then what else you need? You need to have some uni studies, even if you haven't finished yet. If you've done more than 2 years, it's enough.
Because you can obviously come here and study
as
well,
and finish your
But
studies.
not only uni studies.
I reckon it's uni and like superior studies.
Yeah,
It's something like that. And then you need the money to pay the visa, which was for me like $400.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So how long did it take you guys to go through that process before obviously you decided, and then getting all the way through it to literally getting off the plane and being in Australia? How long was that process?
It took me three months to get a visa first, because I had to do the IELTS in Barcelona, which is my hometown. I had to organize everything and get the savings in my account. So it took like 3 months. I studied in the beginning of July, and I got it in the end of September. And then once you get a visa, you have 1 year to come to Australia.
Yeah.
And once you arrive to Australia, you have another year to stay. So I got it in September 2015, and I came here in June last year. So yeah, I was trying to plan everything and get the money. And
what about you, Carlos? How long did the process take?
Yeah, actually I'm with a student visa. So in my case, it was quite quick. I didn't take too much time because to get a student visa, you just have to need to have like I don't know enough money to pay what you want to study. And that's it. Yeah.
Do you have to have enrolled in the thing that you want to study before you apply for your visa to come here, or do you do that once you get here?
Actually, I don't really know how it works, but I think you have to like go into your agency, and your agency is gonna call the school that you want to apply for, and then if they accept you, then you have to apply for your visa.
Okay.
You have to have your school first. So in that case, normally it's so easy because if you apply for an English course, it doesn't take too much time to.
So is that one of the easiest ways to get a student visa? Is not necessarily to apply to go to university, but to go to a language learning school once you get here and enroll in an English course.
Exactly.
Because it seems like there's a lot of foreigners who aren't necessarily studying at university, but more they come here on a student visa who are studying class, like to learn English.
Yeah.
And it's probably cheaper as well, I guess.
Yeah. And actually, if you apply for the student visa, you don't have to have a good level of English.
Yeah.
In that case, if you want to go with the working holiday, you have to pass the exam. You have to have some level of English in order to come here. So in my case, you don't have to have any good level. You just have to come here and try to improve your English as much as possible.
So you can be totally new, never have learned any English.
Exactly. And you don't have any age limit.
Yeah.
You know?
So those are the two sort of options, I guess, for people who are just starting English and don't speak it.
Exactly.
It's probably better to do a student
Yeah, yeah.
visa, but if you already have a good level and you want to
Exactly.
get work as well, because are you restricted to work?
Yes,
on a
you
student
can. You
visa?
can go work 20 hours per week or 40 hours like every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can.
Whereas
Yeah.
the
The
working
work and
visa is
holiday
different?
visa, you can work full time, so you can work 40 hours a week. But you just can work for 6 months for the same employer.
at one place. You
At
have to
one
move
place.
after that.
You have to
too.
move after that. Like it happened to me when I was working with you guys in the
Yeah.
hotel. I had to quit my job because it was gonna be 6 months working
Yeah.
there. So I had to find another job after that.
And so you're on a working holiday visa, but do you have to do the 88 days of farm work, or have you gotten around that?
If you're gonna get a second year visa,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah.
So if you do 88 3 months
yeah,
farm work, you can get a second year visa.
yeah, but you're not going to do that, are you?
No, I'm not gonna do that. I think I reckon it's too hard for me to.
He's
go to
getting
the
too
farm.
much money now.
So can you stay at your employer though at the moment, and if they sponsor you, you don't
Yeah.
have to do it?
So at the end of my visa, I have to go back to Spain unless they sponsor my visa and I
Yeah.
can stay here for a long time.
So I didn't realize. So they can sponsor you as soon as you get here, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be after you've done the 88 days.
No. Actually, you can be sponsored before you come here.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Got you. Got
If
you.
you find a company and they want to hire you and you accept because they usually ask you for like a commitment, because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
need you to stay. It's usually like at least 2 years because they have to pay a lot of money for that sponsor visa.
Yeah.
So they need some kind of commitment, and so you are gonna stay here like 2-3 years, and then we're gonna sponsor your visa, pay for you.
So I guess while we're on that topic, how easy was that to organise through the place that you're at the moment doing engineering? How easy or how difficult was it to get sponsorship, at least the process of sponsorship happening?
So for me it was like I started doing an internship in my company as an engineer. So I didn't get any money for that. I was working there for 3 months, getting the experience and trying to help them with some
But did you
projects.
know when you started that a sponsorship was on the table, was an option?
They didn't tell me. I mean, you never know. I mean,
Yeah.
You can guess, I think.
you try to work hard to get it, but you never know. They can. So they don't say we're gonna hire you at the end of the internship.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
can
up to
change
them.
their mind at
Yeah,
any time.
yes. So even they can hire you or not. So at the end of the 3 months of your internship, they can say thank you for your work, but we don't need you
Yeah.
anymore. So you never know. I mean, I was really lucky with this job now because I'm working in a project that it's gonna be until at least the end of June.
Yeah.
So I'm working with them.
And so what's the process now for you to get sponsorship? Is that just a matter of time, or do you have to do anything?
So at the end of my visa, if we agree to do like a new contract for me, so they have to pay for my visa, they have to sponsor my visa, and I should say like, okay, I'm gonna stay here 2 years with you working for you because you're gonna sponsor my visa. So you need to a kind of agreement between both sides. So
But actually, it's a minimum of 2 years that you have to work for the company.
it's up to the company. I mean, but it's a lot of money. I don't know how much money it is, but if they decide to sponsor your visa, they need some kind of commitment because they want to be sure that you are going to stay here with them. Because then once you have your sponsor visa, you can move to another company.
Yeah.
And so they don't want to pay for you, and then you move to another company once you have your rights.
It's kind of a hard decision to make, because you know that if you got a sponsor, you have to say you are gonna be here for 2 years minimum.
For a long time.
So
Yeah.
it's a hard decision.
Well, obviously, if they're going to pay a lot of money up front, they want to know that their investment is going to be worth it.
Yeah.
So what was it like? We dial back to when you'd gotten your visa, you arrived in Australia. Firstly, what was your perception of Australia before you got here?
I was thinking really good weather, all the day in the beach, all the days seeing kangaroos on the road,
Yeah? What
For
about
me,
you?
my first impression when I came from the airport I was in Swanston Street and I thought I was in China. That was the first I remember really good because it's full of Chinese people in the CBD. So that was the first impression. But then people is really friendly, really good. It's a little bit hard to get the accent first weeks.
Yeah.
But good weather. Well, I came. No, it wasn't a good weather.
Yeah, actually, it's what I
came
was
in
trying to
winter,
say.
so
That
it was
I
winter
came
when
to Melbourne, feeling I'm gonna be in 30 degrees, And then you realize that this city is quite rainy.
Is it because you guys obviously left Spain when it was sunny and nice, and then you get off the plane
So
in
it was the
Melbourne and
beginning
it's
of
just
summer
wet?
in Spain when I left, and it was the beginning of winter here. So I've been through 2 winters at the same year. So that was, but it's because in Spain we all think, well, like people, they think it's always summer in Australia and it's always good weather everywhere.
Parts of Australia.
Yeah, I know, but
Just not the south.
we don't know. I think we don't consider it so. It's like this huge, like this. So that's why.
So what changed once you guys had obviously gotten here? What did you sort of see or experience that you were like, whoa, I did not expect that. That is totally different. Was there anything that sort of took you back or that made you think, wow, I was not expecting Australia to be this kind of place or have this kind of thing?
I'm going to say something that probably is not going to be really
You're
good
allowed to
for
be
you.
honest.
For
You're
your
allowed to be
interview.
honest.
Yeah, when I came here, when you think about Australia, you think like it's a really important country, like it's really good. You can get a really good pay. So yeah, when I realized when I got here that some of the jobs you can find here are not really good. Yeah,
You got to be careful. Of
yeah,
like,
you have to be
people
really
taking it.
careful. You can have a really bad boss that can get like less than $15 per hour, which is really bad. And actually, a lot of the jobs that you can have here, they are not like with contract.
Yeah,
You know,
it's cash in hand.
Yeah, cash in hand. So you have to be aware of that if you want to come here.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So yeah, you can always like look for really good jobs and try not to accept the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, many people like feel like they really need the money, and they accept the first one, and
Or they want to work
don't
more
move.
hours,
yeah.
right?
Or
And
they want to work 40 hours because it's cash in hand. You can work all the hours you want,
Yeah, illegally.
illegally, of course. So you have to be aware of that, and yeah.
So did you guys go through that when you first got here, and then you found Portello Rosso, where we obviously were?
No, in my case, I was really happy. I got the job from Portello like in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
It happened the same to me. I was really lucky because I got like 12 interviews
yeah,
and I got a job in a Chinese restaurant first.
Yeah.
But then, like, I reckon the day after that, I got a trial in Portello, and that night I was working in Portello, and they offered me the contract. So
yeah.
I was really lucky with that. So I didn't have that experience.
I know, it was funny, I didn't realise just how well they sort of took care of everyone before I started working there. I had a friend, obviously Margaret, I don't know if you guys met her, who was working
Yeah.
there, and she got me the
Yeah.
job.
I met her.
But then they were like, oh, you get paid this much per hour, and I was like, what? But
I was
it's so
surprised
true,
with
because I was so expecting for them to be like, oh, well, we don't really have work, we'll give you cash in hand if you do this, and you're like, well, I'm about to get taken advantage of. So do you have advice for people? Obviously, just shop around and try and find a place that's going to respect you and take care of you and not abuse you as giving you too many hours for too little money.
Yeah, I think that's really important. In my case, like I said, like it was like really quick. Like I got this job really quick. But yeah, if you don't get a really good job for the first time you are here, you just keep going, keep trying to look for a better one, and
And what were you guys doing? So you were obviously not Australians. You came to Australia. You were working on your English, so you may not have been confident in your abilities. What did you do to get a job? What was the process? Just write a resume, get help with that? Or-
Yeah, you need to get some help with that because resumes here in Australia are different from Spain.
Yeah.
Like for the photo, they don't use photo here in Australia, but in Spain, if you write your CV, you need to add a photo.
Okay.
There, and then you don't need to say your gender here, and maybe you don't need to say your age.
Yeah.
You have to write a cover letter as well.
There are some
Spain
differences.
or in Australia?
No, in Australia.
There are some differences between Australian and Spanish CV. So you can get some tips from the internet as well.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I know, I need to probably put something up on the Aussie English page saying, here's my recommendations for writing a CV.
Yeah.
So what did you guys do then? Once you had obviously written a CV and printed it out, did you just go from store to store, or did you specifically look for a Spanish restaurant, or it was just...
I did, and it was because I had some friends that they were working here in Melbourne, and they told me just use country.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way. And
So for those who don't know, Gumtree.com is a website where you can put ads up, whether you're looking for a job or selling something.
Seek as well.
Seek.com.
Seek.com.
You can find everything in there. You can buy whatever you want. Yeah, houses, bicycles, cars, whatever.
Yeah, Gumtree's good. I think we've gotten furniture and people to move into our house from Gumtree is
you can find accommodation as well in there.
Yeah.
So I was using Gumtree for the first week. I was sending resumes, 30 resumes every day.
Yeah.
I got 12 interviews the first week, and I got a job in a week. So I was lucky, but I was working hard as I said.
Yeah. Well, it's not luck. You were handing out a lot of them.
Yeah. In my case, I started doing the same. I started sending my CVs by internet in Gumtree, in Seek. I got one interview. It was in a coffee shop, and I did the interview, but it wasn't really successful. So, at some point I decided, I'm gonna print my resume, and I'm gonna go to the CBD. I'm gonna start with looking for Spanish restaurants because I felt comfortable with Spanish, of course, and I thought that it was going to be quite easy.
Yep.
Yeah, and probably I went to 3 or 4 restaurants, and the fourth one was Portello.
Yeah.
And I was really lucky because Manel, you remember Manel
Manel
was leaving, and so they told me you wanna come tomorrow to do a trial, and I was like, fuck yeah, of course. Yeah,
it's so funny. I always took for granted just how many cultures and restaurants there are in Melbourne, but that is such a good thing for foreigners to be able to come here to Melbourne and have access to restaurants that are obviously Chinese, Vietnamese, Spanish, Italian, French, and be able to use that like a stepping stone to learning English.
Yeah. And it's the best way to learn English when you deal with the customers. That's the best way.
Were you guys terrified though when you first started?
Yeah, sure.
Of taking orders? That would terrify me.
You can remember that. I'm sure.
So what was that experience like, and what advice would you have for people who have just gotten here, just gotten a job, and are lacking confidence in their English? What's your advice?
They should look up some words they use here in Australia, because it's not the same. It's not just the English. It's more about the things they drink or they eat here in Australia that are different from Spain. I didn't know what was a lemon lime ambita. I've been working as a waiter in Spain for 4 or 5 years, and I didn't know that first. And there are some cocktails or some beers that you never know.
So it's really studying up on the vocab.
Yeah. It's the best way is actually try to look up the words and then ask for your colleagues.
But this is so funny because we obviously work in a Spanish restaurant, and I had to do it in reverse, where all of the food on the menu is firstly in Spanish, and so I had to almost do a vocab check. Although I just skip it now and just say lamb ribs, pork belly, and don't use the Spanish words.
I know.
I think in our case was quite better because you are in a Spanish restaurant, so the people that is gonna come, they are gonna expect that you are not gonna speak really good English. I mean, not perfectly,
But they're not gonna. I guess Have there been any interactions that you've had that made you feel bad, or that where the person's gotten angry or anything like that? Because I don't think I've ever seen any of the customers, even if they didn't understand you guys, ever treat you poorly. Or
they are really comprehensive with us, so
they're used to foreign people, so I guess they know they are in a Spanish
and
restaurant.
they really like that, I think. It's one
some
of the points that
they love your accent, so that's
exactly
when you say the Spanish, this is with the Spanish accent, they love it. So,
were you surprised about that when you came to Australia, that there would be a lot of sort of acceptance and almost enjoyment of having you guys in certain places like the restaurant, where they were like, oh, it's authentic, you guys are legit, awesome.
Yeah, I was surprised because, for Spanish people, it's really hard to get a pronunciation in English. We have a really, really strong accent, so I thought they were gonna hate us for our accent, but they really like it. Some people, they come and they just love when you say churros or jamon or whatever. And
I guess that's what you guys have to experience all the time is, how do you say this?
Yeah.
What's the correct way to say this? How do you say paella?
Yeah.
They try you to repeat some words because they love it. So
Awesome.
And they want to know, how do you say, for example, cheers in Spanish, or they ask many questions. That's really good. I was really surprised about that.
So what was the process like? Once you'd gotten here, you'd gotten a job, and you were obviously then focused on studying or working on your English, what was it like improving your English here, and what were the hurdles that you faced? Why was it difficult? What was the accent like?
Actually, I'm gonna say another thing that probably is not really.
You're allowed to be honest.
But I've learned more during my job than when I was in the school. To be honest, yeah, you can always improve your English in the school, but when you really feel like you are facing the English, it's when you are working.
Yeah, because it's almost that sink or swim situation, right? Where you have to use English now. There's no way to just switch to Spanish.
Exactly. And you're speaking with native people.
Yeah.
You know? So in class you can speak with Italian, you can speak with French. So more or less you have the same level. You can understand each other.
Yeah.
In the job is different.
Yeah.
You know, you have to speak almost every day with people from Australia. You have to understand them. If not, you have a problem.
So what did you do to sort of try and improve your English just by doing that? Was it just constantly leaving yourself open to those experiences, or were you studying on top of that, stuff that you learnt in the restaurant? Or
I don't really study on my own, so yeah. That's true. Yeah, I think like talking with you a lot, talking with Charlie, talking with the customers. Yeah, is how I improve the most. You know.
Yeah.
For me, it was different because I wasn't in a school. I wasn't learning English. So
you came to Australia, but you were doing study as an engineer, or you were just working holiday?
I was just working holidays.
Yeah.
So I was working in the restaurant, and then I found this internship. So I was working in both places at the same time. Because I went to this whole process about learning English in a foreign country in London. I did this, so I was in a school learning English when I was 18. So, I know my English is not really good, but it was fair enough for the first months. And then when I found the job in the restaurant, I could feel I was improving my English.
Yeah.
It was really good. And then when I found this internship in the company, that's completely different because I'm working with all Aussies.
Yeah.
Most of them are from the countryside. That accent, it's really, really hard. The first weeks I couldn't understand anything from some of them. But now I can feel I've been working there for 5 months now, and I can feel my English is much better now. So I try to, for me, I can understand everything in English, and when I talk I can get fluent in sometimes, but for me the worst point is the pronunciation.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing I'm trying to focus now. I'm trying to improve my pronunciation because I think it's the last thing to feel really confident
polish it up.
Yeah.
So what would you guys say is the way that you learned the Australian accent? Did you actively try and practice learning it by using resources, or it was just constant exposure?
Yeah. For me, it's the second one. Yeah.
I try to meet Aussie people and try to. Most of the times I just use the same words, like I reckon or
So you kind of repeat it after them, and then you start using it.
And I get used to it, so that's the way I do it. So if I hear a new word, I try to look it up, and then I try to use it. So that's why I say now, like I wouldn't say I reckon when I was in London, but now here I use it a lot.
Yeah, that's good.
Like
that's
how
good.
you going, or all this kind of new expression for me. But
so how long do you think it took both of you to sort of tune in to the Australian accent too? Did it take a very, very, very long time, or was it pretty quick? Or is that hard to say? Again, it depends on who you meet.
I cannot say. Someday you realize that you're understanding more people than you expected. So I don't know. Probably it's like every day you are trying to improve your English, and you don't realize how, but you are doing it.
I think it took me like 1 month in working in the restaurant to get used to the accent and all the new stuff that I was learning there. So maybe 1 month. The first month in the restaurant was really, really hard to understand everything and trying to work all in English. So it's good because we are some Latin people there, so some Spanish and Chilean people there. So it's really good because your first days you can ask to your colleagues. So that's really good. But I didn't know it was so hard to learn the Aussie accent. I didn't know it was so different from American or British accent. So that was
in my case, was this the first experience that I have in a different country that wasn't Spain. So I cannot really say that American accent or English accent is really different from Australian because it's my first experience with English. So what I can say that sometimes it's really difficult to get what you are saying, guys. But yeah, that's true. But at some point,
it's difficult for me sometimes from other Australians. I know how it feels.
imagine, yeah.
People from the countryside, it's really, really completely different. I have one of my colleagues in my new job, it's like, he's from Warrnambool. Oh my god. First week it's like, it's trying
It's not even that bad.
He's really friendly and he's trying to...
He has some answers to say when he doesn't understand anything.
He's trying to talk to me and ask me things about Spain and everything. But first weeks I was like, he was talking to me and I was like, yeah, no, or yeah, or no, or cheers. Oh yeah, I was saying cheers or no worries, because you can use those words every time. It's like cheers, no worries. So I was answering like yeah, no worries, and he was happy with that. So we couldn't understand each other first week. Even for him, it was really hard to understand me. So that was funny.
Oh god. I guess that gets us, cheers and no worries gets us onto Australian slang terms. What are some funny Australian slang terms that you've learned and that you now use, if you can think of any?
I always use I'm going to the loo, for example.
What does that mean, Carlos?
I'm going to the toilet, of course.
Yeah, the loo.
First when I learned, I was in the sky bus in the airport trying to go to the CBD, and I got into the bus and it was just the driver in there, and he was like, hey mate, how you going? And I was like, I'm going with you, right? Because I didn't know he meant like how you doing or
how you going there.
Yeah, so I was like, I thought I was going with you. So that was funny. He was laughing a lot, and yeah, mate, don't worry, we're going together. So I think that was the first one I learned. Yeah, really, how you going? That was the first one.
Right. So have you had any other funny misunderstandings whilst you've been here that you can think of? Any like where you've pronounced the word wrong or?
Yeah.
Wow.
What was the word?
I can't really remember right now.
It was this is a really tough one for us. It's like beach and beach.
Beach and beach. Yeah, I remember me and Carlos.
Yeah,
had that chat quite a bit. Beach and
you
beach.
try to teach us how to do it, but it's.
But how have you found? I mean, having those difficulties and still being in a position where you could make mistakes. How has the response been from natives? I mean, have they ever been upset or angry?
No, they just only laugh. I mean, they try to. Yeah, some of them they don't try to correct you because I think they feel like they don't want to be like really rude with you. But some of them they laugh and they usually understand it. I mean, if you want to, you can understand everything. So they usually understand. They laugh and they say, "Oh, okay."
If you don't understand, you can always do what I do. You know, like I have another waiter for you, my friend Julen, or my friend.
You can call Peter. Call Peter, and then
you've got a customer. Yeah.
He's a translator. Yeah. But it's one of those things I'm always trying to teach my students and the listeners is to have more confidence and not be too worried about making mistakes. You know, it doesn't matter. You get to laugh, you get to have fun, and people don't ever really get upset or angry. You know, worst case scenario, someone doesn't understand and you both laugh and change the subject, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's totally right.
When I was 18, 19 years old and I was trying to learn English in London, I was really shy.
Yeah.
So I was really worried about making mistakes. So that's. Can't think of that you cannot improve your English because you try to just be quiet and try not to make mistakes. So you just need to talk, and 2 beers it's a really good.
Yeah, I was about to say,
really
do you recommend liquid courage?
For sure, not many of them, but
enough to be able to talk. Not too many you can't talk.
It's up to you, but 2 drinks are really good for English. You can feel you can use the English much better with.
So is that why you guys try to actively go out a little bit more as well? Is that when you feel a little more confident?
Yeah. You can feel more confident with some drinks, and you try. When you are out with some Aussie people and you are having some drinks, I think they also can understand you much easier. So that's
I think too the trick with alcohol, at least, or feeling really comfortable and at ease, is that you start making leaps. You start using words you wouldn't normally use. You start, not worrying so much, and so it does flow more. And if you don't have an understanding, if you have a misunderstanding or you don't understand, you just go through it. You go through it, you don't really care, and you just move on.
You can ask, what that means, because I have no idea. You are usually trying to avoid that kind of moments, like, what do you mean? I don't know, I don't understand. But when you are having some drinks with friends, it's like, Fuck, I don't know.
So those
idea.
moments where you guys were making the most mistakes were probably also the moments where you were learning the most.
Yeah, sure.
It's the best way.
Sure.
When you are wrong, it's the best way to learn.
Yeah.
So,
But you need someone to tell you, because
The errors about the mistakes you're making.
Yeah, you need someone to tell you, because if not, you are always gonna avoid that mistakes, and you're gonna keep going with that.
So what's your tip for that, Carlos and Julen? Like, I take it you guys got to the point where your English is so good now that people understand everything that you're saying 99% of the time. Maybe 1% they misunderstand something, but they understand even if you make grammatical errors. What do you guys suggest for people who get to that point and now want to sort of improve their grammar and those small mistakes that they make that natives won't call them up on, won't say, oh, wait a second, how do you guys try and improve on those smaller things?
I would say, like, when you get to a really good point, like in English, I guess like the best way to keep improving is like looking for phrasal verbs, typical expressions that you really use, and you can always try to find another word that you feel more comfortable to use. But if you keep going like with the difficult ones, you are gonna get it. I think you can have a really good improvement.
I reckon it's a matter of time. You need time. Yeah, keep going and try to improve every day. Because when once you get a level, like you feel really comfy with that level, it's really hard to see your improvements.
To continue
you
improving.
Constantly have to be pushing yourself and trying to follow that zone of discomfort, that slight discomfort.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you can feel like you are getting more fluent every time. So that's the only way. It's a matter of time. Try to keep going and speak English all the time you can. So
read a lot, for example.
Yeah.
Like once you get here, you probably the best thing you can do is buy an English book, or like trying to get like Netflix or something to see or to watch many films in English. I think that's a really good way to keep improving. And then what you are talking in the street with your friends, with your Australian friends, you're gonna get a really good improvement anyway.
So we talked about the do's, what you should do, what shouldn't you do? If you want to get to a good level, what are the things that people do who don't get good at English when they come to Australia?
I'm
Be
gonna
with
say
people with your
exactly. I'm gonna say something that I do really.
I mean, you feel really comfy sometimes with people from your own country because you want to and they understand you. So sometimes you need that, and I understand that. But you need to try to be with Aussie people or with foreign people and just try to speak English the whole time. So that's the best way to.
Yeah, I agree. For example, I'm not the one that is like doing that properly, but at least I'm working in an environment that you are there, Charlie's there, so you can always improve.
You're forced to speak English.
Yeah, exactly. But for example, if you go to an Italian restaurant, most of the people that are working there, they speak Italian all the time. So if you are Italian, for example, you shouldn't. I mean, it's the easy way to start here, but if you really want to improve,
get too comfortable.
Exactly. You're gonna be in your comfort zone. You're not gonna improve what you want to improve. So I guess you have to encourage yourself and try to be brave and speak with people that you are not really comfortable with.
Yeah.
And at some point you're gonna get really, really better.
So what would your advice be for meeting Australians and becoming friends with Australians? What's something that you guys have done or gone to or tried that's allowed you to do that? What would you suggest for people to be able to do to meet Australians or to meet people in any country they're in?
I've met some Aussies at the restaurant.
Yeah.
That most of them, they were trying to learn Spanish, so that was a good way, like exchange of languages. So that's a good way. And then now in my new job, it's like they are all Aussies, so it's a really good way to meet new Aussie people.
Yeah. Well, you don't have a choice now.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. So.
Are you gonna make friends or be on your own?
A really good recommendation that I have is like going to language exchange. So what we did.
We went to Mundo Lingo in Melbourne here, which is one that's every week, right? At a bar, and 100 people, 200 people meet up and just practice languages. That's a pretty good way.
And
That's a good way to meet
Tinder
people.
is another way.
Tinder's a good way.
It's a good way.
Yeah.
As long as you're good with
Yeah, but
conversational
make
dates,
sure you say
right,
you are Spanish, because otherwise you could get confused with that. But
Your
it's another
profile
way.
says like you're Latin lover, so they are gonna accept
So did you
it.
find that more people swiped right when you put I was Spanish in your
Yeah.
profile than if you were to not put it down there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, most of them they wanna meet some like
Something
Spanish
different.
people because they wanna try to improve their Spanish or
Yeah.
try to learn Spanish. So yeah, you can find people in there.
That's funny you say that. I mean, I admit at the moment I use Tinder as well, and I have in my line, my top line is like I'm, a scientist in Australia and I love learning languages like French and Portuguese, and I swear I get 1 in every 3 is probably either Portuguese or French, and they'll start with just salut or como vai, that kind of thing.
Because they
And you
wanna-
just be like,
yeah.
they totally see that.
They wanna learn English as well, so that's their way. So you can learn Portuguese or French from them, and
Yeah.
they can learn English from you. So that's the way.
There you go, the new language exchange program on Tinder.
yeah, that's another way. You have to use everything you have. So
And so what's the next step for you guys? Do you both want to stay here permanently? Are you looking to move on to bigger and better things and travel elsewhere?
Actually, yeah, I would like to stay here like quite a long time, but yeah, actually I'm going back in 1 month.
Yeah. I know it
So
sucks.
yeah, it really sucks. But yeah, actually I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. So probably like Julen did, I'm gonna try to apply for the working holiday visa.
Yeah.
If I don't find a really good job in Spain and I don't feel comfortable, yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna come back.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
then even though you've had the student visa,
Yeah.
if you apply for the working holiday one, does that mean you're able to come here for another 2 years again,
Yeah,
potentially?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
actually, one thing that we missed to say is like for the working holiday visa, you have to be like less than 30 years old.
So you have to be younger than 30.
35 now.
Is it 35?
35? Oh, okay,
Yeah, the
35.
advice is 35, I reckon.
Is that country specific too? Are the rules that apply to you as a Spanish person different for different countries?
Yeah, they are different. I mean, they are all similar
Yeah.
in all the countries.
But they're
In-
specific
in-
to
at least in Europe, they are all similar. Like your English level and your age and everything, they are all similar, but there are some differences between countries. Like for Spanish people, I don't know why you have to send all your documents. You have to send it to Berlin, to Germany.
Oh, really?
Because the Australian embassy, like the biggest one in Europe, it's in Germany.
Yeah.
So you have to send all the documents to Berlin. So
Yep.
it's another thing. That's pretty cool.
What about you, Julen? You wanting to stay here permanently, or are you
I don't
thinking
know
about
yet.
traveling elsewhere?
Yeah, I don't know yet. My visa expires in June,
Yeah.
and I have my contract until June. I'm working there, and I have to think about it.
Yep.
I would like to travel around, like Australia and New Zealand, and then maybe go back to Spain to see my family and friends.
Yep.
And then I have to decide what to do with my life. 'Cause,
Yep.
yeah, I would like to be here more time because like my job opportunities here are much bigger than in Spain because it's really bad in there now. So I have to think about it. Yeah.
One important thing that I recommend to your followers is that if you really want to stay here, if you are thinking to stay here, I think the most important thing you have to do is like trying to get a internship. Sorry. And once you get this internship,
Or get married.
that's true.
So use Tinder. Get on it.
Yeah.
Change your GPS position to be in Australia now and start swiping.
Yeah, so if you get an internship, probably you're gonna be 3 months like without getting any pay, but at the end can be worth,
Yeah, can be worth it.
Yeah, more than if you work like when you are in a restaurant, because the possibilities of getting a sponsor, being a waiter, it's really hard. You know?
And even if you don't get a sponsor visa, or you don't get a real job from your internship, you are gonna learn a lot. You're gonna improve your English.
Exactly.
You're gonna get some experience in your field.
So at least you're going to leave with something.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wasn't doing my internship because I wanted a job in that company or because I wanted to. Yeah, I wanted them to hire me. I mean, I would like to. I was looking forward for that, but I didn't want to. I was looking forward for the experience and
It was
my
not your aim,
English.
your main aim.
Yeah, so I was mixing both works at the same time, and at the end it worked. But even if it didn't work,
You got the
I
experience.
got the experience, and I was really happy with that. So.
Awesome. Finish up. where have you guys been in Australia? What has been something amazing you've seen, or that was maybe not as amazing as you were expecting?
I'm gonna say the most amazing thing I've lived here is like when I went with my friend to a road trip.
Yeah.
I started in Melbourne and I rode to Brisbane. So it was amazing. We hired a camper van and we visited amazing places from all the east of Australia. Yeah, and I really had a really good experience about that. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that.
Awesome.
Yeah, for me, I was working really hard the last 6 months, so I couldn't travel a lot. But this last month I could go to the Great Ocean Road, to proposals and everything, and it was amazing. It was very, very nice. And I'm looking forward to go to Tasmania. Awesome. It's like my dream, so I hope to go there in a few months. So that's the next.
I mean, you have to take me with you. I've never been.
Yeah. No?
No,
really?
Yeah,
they told me it's a great place, so I have to go there. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, well, thanks so much, guys, for being on the
Thank you.
podcast.
Thanks to you, man.
No worries. See you later, guys.
See you later.